While Thomas was away in New York for the Great Railway Show, some of his friends had to do his job for him. For example, Percy took care of Benny and Clarabelle along with most of the trains he had to pull. Meanwhile, Daisy took care of the fast runs that's at the junction where Gordon always stops at. It made her feel very important and loved to show off her swerve and paintwork, and also wants to prove to Sir Topham Hatt that she's really useful. But what about the jobs that don't have to do with the passengers? Well, Toby's in charge of those and mostly drops the loads off at the docks. He really likes doing it, as in to move a lot more than he usually does. But one day, things weren't going well because a snowstorm was covering the island. Daisy was waiting at the junction for Gordon so she can take care of the passengers. She was enjoying the snow, but her crew wasn't so sure about it.
I think it's fun. It's beautiful to look at, and it's soft like a blanket.
I don't know about that, Daisy. It could be very dangerous, and it's very cold and wet. That's why Gordon's delayed right now. Otherwise, he would run off the rails, and then we'll be in trouble.
Then he turned to her guard.
I don't think it's safe for Daisy to run on the snow. She's not as heavy as the steam engines, and there's no way she can make her way through the piles of snow.
You mean like how Thomas got stuck in it once?
Exactly! I don't want that happening to us. And there's no snowplow for her to wear, so we're going to have to be super careful on the icy rails.
I agree. He told us his event so many times to the point we understand what he meant and not wanting the same thing with us.
Just then, Gordon finally arrived and complained about the snow.
Darn snow! Let me tell you something. I wouldn't have to be late if it wasn't for the weather all of a sudden falling down from the sky and Mother Nature saying, "Hey, I'm going to make winter come early and screw everything up without you coming up with a plan." I guess you could say that winter came early. What a joke.
Well, then don't find a small problem. A few flakes won't slow me down. And besides, we don't mess with Mother Nature, otherwise she'll give us a much harder time than this.
I guess you're right, sis. As long as Sir Topham Hatt understands the weather situation. I better get going. There's no need for me to be late even more. See you around.
And Gordon left to continue his run, leaving Daisy to take care of the passengers who needed to go home by the station she needed to go to. The snow wasn't bothering her at all, the rails weren't slick, and there wasn't any piles of snow blocking her way. But that changed when she got to the valley. The sky turned to gray and the snow was getting heavy. She tried to see through the snow, but it was very difficult.
Oh my, I can't see a thing anymore from all of this snow.
Neither can I, but we must find a signal box so I can call for help.
At last they finally found the next signal box, and a driver walked in to talk to the signal man on what's ahead of them. He soon walked out looking very upset and had bad news.
Attention everyone! I'm afraid that there's a few deep drifts of snow ahead of us, and there's no way we're going to make it through them. So, Daisy will have to take you back to the previous station, and we'll have someone else to take you home from there.
If we're lucky enough to get there in one piece.
The driver ignored the passenger's comment and tried to get Daisy to go back, but something wasn't right. She started to feel ill and coughed like crazy, and nothing was working.
Something's not right with me. I can't breathe properly, and my wheels feel wobbly all of a sudden.
Her driver checked all around her to see what's wrong and found the problem.
The snow has clogged your air tank. That's why you're having so many problems. I knew this was going to happen, but nobody listened to me.
He immediately cleaned out all the snow, but more snow clogged up the air tank again. That's how bad the weather was getting. Daisy couldn't move at all. She was starting to cry, knowing that she can't move another inch.
Oh, I think that snow was a fun thing to be in. I might as well stay here till I'm frozen. What a silly beefo I am.
Don't worry. I'll just call for help from the signal box and we'll be out of here in no time.
That's exactly what he did. He walked up to the signalman and had him call for help. As time went by, the passengers were staying warm inside of Daisy while she was dealing with the freezing snow, feeling even more miserable to the point that even her driver couldn't cheer her up. The snow was getting higher and there still wasn't any sign for help. Nobody knows how they were going to get rescued. Then they heard a weird noise. It definitely wasn't the wind. All the passengers walked out finding out what the noise was. They looked up and they saw Harold the helicopter.
Don't worry, everyone. I'll take you home safely. You can count on me.
A ladder fell off him and told everyone to climb up. So everyone climbed up one by one into him. And after they did, he told Daisy to not worry.
Toby will be here in a bit to get you out of that snowdrift. I'd love to stay and chat to keep you company, but I need to take these buses to safety. See you soon. Goodbye.
Oh, no, not Toby. He'll start making fun of me and laugh about it too.
You'll just have to deal with it, Daisy. He has his own snow plow, and our only chance to get us out of this nightmare.
So she and her crew waited for Toby for a few minutes. At last, he came to the rescue. You know, it's a shame that there's no snowplows made for diesels like you. Then you wouldn't have to deal with snow problems like this and continue enjoying the snow. Daisy was too cold and embarrassed to say anything. She didn't think the snow was fun anymore, and just couldn't look at it the same way again.